Good morning, everyone, and welcome back. Today we're going to do three things. First, we're going to check in on our portfolio and see how it's performing. Second, I'm going to show you how to add cash to your account because investing is something you build over time. And third, we're going to continue building out this portfolio in a structured and realistic way. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's open up our portfolio. All right, so we're inside of our paper trading IRA account. We started this portfolio with $5,000, and right now we're sitting at about $5,091.53. Currently, we have three shares, actually, three shares of VTI, 25 shares of SCHD, 10 shares of AMD. I'm sorry, not 10 shares of AMD, 10 shares of SoFi, and 2 shares of AMD. So we've already started building out our core positions. Now let's talk about something very important, adding money to your account. Investing is not a one-time event. Most people grow their portfolio by consistently adding to it over time. So what I'm going to do here is simulate adding $2,000 to this account. And let me just take a look over here. There's another area where you can adjust your cash. If you go to the Monitor tab under Activity and Positions, you can also adjust the account from here. But because we didn't start off learning that way, and it's a little bit different than the way we've been doing it, I'm just going to point it out so you know it's here. However, an easier way is if you go under like your Trade tab and you click on the symbol here, not the symbol, the amount, you can adjust your cash here, and that's how we've been doing it, so I'm going to keep it consistent. So we're going to hit adjust cash. On the IRA, we're going to add $2,000, tap on cash adjustment, hit OK. So now we've just, assimilated that we added $2,000, and you can see now your net liquidity went up, as well as your stock buying power went up as well. In real life, this could be $500, $1,000, or maybe a larger amount like a tax refund. The key is consistency over time. Now that we've added more funds, let's continue building out the portfolio. Before I started recording, I mapped this out so we stay organized and not guess while we're investing. Because when I wing it and I'm with the calculator and trying to type notes at the same time, yeah, it's a little more challenging, and I found that there were more errors being made. So let's open up VTI. Now, let me move you over here so I can see. I'm going to close the option chain so it doesn't look wild. And we can even close these. I'm going to close all these things out here. All right, so you're on your trade tab. Let's go into VTI. That's our Vanguard Total Market Index Fund. Right now, we have 3 shares, and my goal is to invest about $1,200 a year into VTI. So today I'm going to add 2 more shares of VTI. Turn that up so I can see it better. All right, so we're going to go into here, buy. Our order entry is open. We're going to add 2 shares on the limit, and it's currently trading at 343.06. Here, let me open this up a little bit so we can see it better. It's around 340. Okay, let's just drop it down to 343.02 and confirm descent. We're buying 2 VTI at 343.02. Good to canceled. And it's from the IRA. Let's hit send. All right, and that will bring us up to 5 shares. VTI gives us exposure to the overall market. So this is our foundation. All right, so we're going to open up Oh, we can allow. All right, so that order just got filled. SCHD. Oops. There's our dividend ETF. We're not trading stock options. We currently have 25 shares, and the long-term goal is to build this to 100 shares. So we're going to build it gradually. So today I'm going to add 10 shares of SCHD. Right click, buy. I can also just add the 0. Stock, buy 10 shares of SCHD. Is currently trading at around $30.54. Yeah, I'll drop that down. Lock it. Good to cancel. I'm just going to leave this on the day because I'm not going to have this as a working order for days. So let's just make that date and confirm to send. Send buy 10 shares SCHD 3054. Okay. Out of the IRA. You always want to double check that you're actually purchasing the shares to put into the correct position. So we're going to let that work. And as you will remember, if you want to know where does that go? If I buy an order and it hasn't filled, where does it go? So if you go to the monitor tab under working orders, this is those 10 shares hanging out, waiting to hit the price you said you would be willing to pay. So now that just filled. So it moves from working orders to filled orders. I just figured out we're going to reinforce this. All right, so that covers SCHD. So that brings us to 35 shares total for SCHD. Now let's open up SoFi under the Trade tab. We currently have 10 shares, and just like SCHD, the goal is to build up SoFi to 100 shares over time. And just to kind of bring you into the loop, the reason why I want 100 shares of SoFi is because at some point I'm going to make this a working asset. I'm going to put the shares to work. I'm going to sell covered calls and earn premiums to add income to the portfolio. And I need 100 shares to do it. So that's why we'll gradually be building that out. And so we'll do that together. And then when I'm ready to teach you how to earn money by making money, earning premiums, selling covered calls, then you'll see how that all works. So we are under, all right, so we have 15. Where am I at? I done lost my train of thought now. Well, that's easy to figure out. Let's see what we got. SoFi still has 10. All right, so we need to add 5 shares of SoFi. That's where we left off. Actually, I take that back. Today we're going to add 15 shares of SoFi. So let's buy those. We're going to right click on there, on this 1840, 1830. Click on buy. And we are going to buy 15 shares of SoFi. So you can either scroll up gradually that way. Let's see if we can move this over. Here we go. So the stock is to buy 15 shares of SoFi. It's currently trading at $18.41. I'm going to leave it open this time. But this is just basically the market's moving. It is still a limit buy for $18.39, but it's going to fill it somewhere between $18.39, or actually $18.39 and $18.39. This would be your ask price in the midpoint. So I'm going to leave it open this time so you can kind of see it play out that way. So we have buy 15 shares of SoFi at $18.38. This would be your cost, and this would be your resulting buying power. So we can buy 15 shares of SoFi, and that will bring us up to 25 shares total. We're just going to wait for that to fill. Okay, so that's filled. So let's take a quick look at our monitor tab, and now you will see, oh, we didn't add AMD. All right, it's all right. We're not going to add it today. All right, so AMD, we have 2 shares. SCHD, we currently have 35 shares. SoFi, we bumped that up. Now we have 25 shares. And VTI, we have 5. So now let's take a few minutes to make the platform easier to use. Go up here to the gear icon. Click on that, and you have application settings. Now this part is very important because you can, well, actually, you can change your background to be light or dark. This is just a personal preference. All right, so let's go into application settings. And this would be under, let me see if I can remember where we put that. Look and feel. Look and feel is where you go, where if you don't like the dark background on the program, you can switch it to light, and this gives you a preview down here of what your background would now look like. So instead of being very dark with blacks and grays and greens, it would be white with lighter gray, medium gray, and blue. And so if that works better for your eyes and you feel more comfortable with it, play around with it and see what you like. So you would have light, old school, Thinkorswim. I use Chinese dark usually. Chinese light would look like this. And then you would have the SSE light, which brings in this orange gold color. So depending on, what you're just more comfortable with, this is where you would change that, as well as your font size. You can adjust that if the writing is too small or you need it a little smaller for whatever reason. This is where you would adjust that, and then the spacing around it. You're looking at normal, so this would be tight, and this would be roomy. And it would just, give you much more room around there. I keep it on the normal. So let's put that back there. And then you would hit apply settings. Now I'm not going to apply the settings because I don't want to have to go back in and change those around after. But this is where you look and feel is where you would change the way the background overall looks on Thinkorswim. So let me go up to order defaults. And this is very important. By default, your order size may be set to 10 down here under order. I like to change that to 1 so I have more control. So I change my order default to 1, default quantity of orders, and order quantity increment, I keep 1. And finally, if you're using paper trading with an IRA, you can also set it so that it automatically opens to an account instead of a margin, which I covered that, but I'm going to go over it again under general. If you go to startup, this shows you, oh, actually, no, I take that back. Under account, if whenever you log into your Thinkorswim account and you find that it's always loading when you sign into the margin account, but you only want it to load into the IRA, this default account area here gives you the option to where it'll open under a margin or an IRA. So because we're currently, we have our paper trading portfolio in the IRA, I set it up for IRA. So whenever we log in and I put the password in and it logs in, it'll automatically bring me to the portfolio. So what else do we have here? Let me just check my notes so we're on order. All right, so today we checked in on we didn't check in on the portfolio. Let me check. All right, so let's see how we're doing overall today. Let's go. We're under the monitor tab. We're going to close out these orders here just to keep this easy to see. And under the activity and positions here, because it might look like this. If it looks like this, none, just click on it to open it. And now you see the positions you have, the amount of shares, what you paid for it, what the market is currently trading, what the market changes, your P&L open. That means overall we're up $97, well, $97.04. And on the day, we're up $2.97. So here's our cash sweep vehicle. What we've made, $96.04. And we're just checking in on it. So we opened this account up last week and it's up almost $100. This does not mean if you open up your account, you should expect to see $100 a week gain on a position. It's the market. It could be down, it could be up. It's all normal. It's all part of the strategy, the plan. So I think yeah. We checked in on the portfolio, we added new funds, we built out our core positions, and we continued growing our long-term investments. This is exactly how you would build a portfolio over time, step by step, not all at once. So I will see you in the next lesson. Bye.